Well, we head into our final race of the morning's action here at Kerpen. DD2 Masters now up, and after the intermediate classification, it was Daniel Schollenberger in the 522 that will start from pole position. Michael Becker in the 526 will line up alongside on the front row. Andreas Frenzel in the 503 and Klaus Parnett in the 502 complete the top two rows. Tommy Helfinger in the 506 will have Thomas Piet in the 550 alongside. Thomas Piet denied a second victory in a row yesterday due to technical dramas halfway through the second heat yesterday afternoon. Patrick Weinstock in the 585 and the 555 of Stefan Grabau completes the top 8. Marco Winkler, who fancied a bit of rally crossing yesterday as opposed to being on the black stuff, starts 9th ahead of the 524 of Lennart Schreiber. Stefan Epp, Konrad Bayer, Tanju Yildiz and Falco Birkholz round out the 14 strong that will go into racing for the next 14 minutes plus an additional lap. Some slight delays so far due to some incidents on track. So we will be going into the lunch break after this particular race. But it will be down to who is going to get the jump on the field. Now, we have seen some great performances throughout the season. Marco Winkler has been in the top 6 on finals days quite regularly. Stefan Grabau had a pretty good win earlier on this season, and that would have been back in Mulsen. So effectively, don't count anyone out just yet. But Schollenberger came in this event with an 8-point advantage over Michael Becker coming into this round. But now the real race begins, because we find out who will be our new 2021 DD2 Masters champion. Helfinger was in the mix last year. He's in the top 6. But can he make a bit of a dent, a bit of an inroad into the lead that Schollenberger had coming into this round? Right then, red lights on the starting gantry. Into the tram lines we go. Revs rise. Are we ready? We are racing, and it's side by side between the top two as they go through turn 1, as Klaus Parnett looking to try and get past into second position. Becker's getting assaulted from all sides. Oh, Thomas Piet, the back axle goes bumping up and down off of the tarmac through turn 2. He was lucky to get away with that one and kept off of the grass, because that would have spun him 180 degrees at the very least. But Schollenberger is like a scalded cat on a hot tin roof and has gotten away from the rest of the field, because now second it's Michael Becker. Looks like Klaus Parnett is rounding out the top 2. Andreas Frenzel will be in around about 4th position. Thomas Piet was in 5th, but could be a little bit compromised after that altercation at turn 2 on the first lap of the race. Stefan Grabau has got himself up into 5th place by the end of the very first lap. And Thomas Piet drops down into 11th ahead of Konrad Bayer in the 580 from FM Racing with a comp car chassis. 12 minutes and 56 seconds still to go. And Daniel Schollenberger has done a Sebastian Vettel. 1.4 seconds after the very first lap when it all kicked off behind, because Becker was being assaulted from all sides. You had Parnett, you had Helfinger, Grabau, Frenzel, all and sundry just going for it. Marco Winkler now finds himself in 6th place. He's gotten past Patrick Weinstock and Andreas Frenzel in the meantime, and now is closing in on the 555 of Stefan Grabau. So across the line they go. They complete lap number 2, and the lead between Schollenberger and Becker now extends to 1.996 seconds. Klaus Parnett, Tommy Helfinger, Stefan Grabau, Marco Winkler and Patrick Weinstock round out the top 7 positions. Thomas Piet has now gotten back up into the top 10. Konrad Bayer drops down to the bottom of the order, unfortunately. The number 580 in 14th position drops behind Lennart Schreiber and Falco Birkholz in 12th and 13th position respectively. Marco Winkler rounds out the top 6, but things are very much getting up close and personal at the front end of the field. So 11 minutes and 45 seconds plus an additional lap still to go, as these drivers will be pushing like crazy. Klaus Parnett now coming under fire. He's been overtaken by Tommy Helfinger in the meantime, and Stefan Grabau right on the back bumper looking into turn 2, but up the inside Danny Rick licked the stamp and send it Holy cow. Marco Winkler up the inside to take 5th place from the 555. That was neatly done by Marco Winkler. So we timed that to pretty much well-needed perfection and got a good run. And now he's closing in on Klaus Parnet. So Winkler hunting a top 3 finish, in the very least, in one of the races here today. He has been running in the old 3 Series compacts I've seen on his social media. Has Marco Winkler. I think the old 318 Ti's, if memory serves me correctly, but it's the version that was based on the E36 or E46 BMW 3 Series, not the one with the sort of like This is where things get interesting, because So with 7 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock, the sun continues to beat down on the circuit here in Kerpen. Daniel Schollenberger now has a 3.2 second lead ahead of Michael Becker. Tommy Helfinger rounds out the top 3. Klaus Parnet is coming under fire once again from Marco Winkler. Patrick Weinstock closing in on Stefan Krabal. That's about on your screens at the moment, ever so briefly. That's for P7. Thomas Piet now up into 6th place and has set the fastest lap of anybody, 45.235, and he's right up the back bumper of Marco Winkler as we speak. So we're about to hit the halfway point of the race itself. 7 minutes completed and 7 minutes still to go with an additional lap. So top 10 rounded out by Lennart Schreiber, as Stefan Epp has dropped a couple of positions in the meantime. There's the battle between Helfinger, Parnet, Winkler. Now here comes Thomas Piet in the Praga chassis on the 550. So this is a four-way scrap for what is third on the road. 6 minutes and 30 seconds remain in this race. The drivers are going to be continually pushing. As all, moment there for Marco Winkler. He's gone rally crossing again. Oh my goodness, what on earth happened there? I'm just going to have a quick look back. But coming into the left-hander, I think he went a bit defensive. And then all of a sudden, Peart went up the inside. Winkler had no other alternative but to go onto the muck and the dirt. That's going to dirty his tyres, and that has dropped him into 8th position. So that's not exactly what he wanted. No, that's not what he needed either. So it has changed the complexity of the battle for P3, because now Helfinger and Parnett going into battle. Thomas Peart has been closing. Thomas Peart has put in the fastest lap of the race on the completion of lap 9, 45.187 second lap time. And there's still time yet. I think Peart's in the hunt for a top 3 finish. Very, very easily that could be the case. So the wind has picked up. It's 15 kilometres an hour, west-southwesterly wind. Through turn 3, and there is Helfinger and Klaus Parnett battling over 3rd place. And Peart is not that far adrift either. Peart last time put in a 45.205, was over 2.5 tenths of a second quicker than Klaus Parnett, was over 3.5 tenths of a second quicker than Tommy Helfinger. So these two better watch their 6, because in the next 5 minutes plus an additional lap, I think Thomas Peart will get past them, and get past them rather easily and convincingly. So there you see on your screens, Thomas Peart is closing in. The gap was 8 tenths of a second. That looks to be more like half a second, not even that, because Klaus Parnett can feel the heat under the collar. Thomas Peart looked up the inside. Oh, there might have been a little bit of a touch between the pair. Right front to left rear coming through the left-hander. And, yeah, Peart went for the move. Oh, and at the slightest of touches, sidewall to sidewall, and Klaus Parnett finds himself down into 5th position and quickly going into the clutches of Stefan Grabau. So that's going to be, well, we've had a drama for Marco Winkler. Winkler has pulled off the track and he has retired from the race on lap number 10. So Daniel Schollenberger has consistently led this race from lights out, and at the moment with just over 3 minutes and 20 seconds still to go. Falco Birkholz now is the next driver to pull into the pits and has decided to call it lunchtime. As of lap number 12 of this race, we're on lap number 15 of this race, with Schollenberger leading Michael Becker by just over 3.3 seconds. There is the race leader going through the sweeping S's. So 12 out of the 14 drivers still circulating, rounded out by the 580 of Konrad Bayer. So Birkholz has officially retired from the race. So 12 runners and riders still completing their way, well, circumnavigating their way around the circuit. There's the leader once again, Daniel Schollenberger. When you haven't really talked much about the leader's been doing a pretty fine job out at the front. And Michael Becker still doing pretty well. He's gotten quicker and has put in a personal best, 45.289 seconds for the 526 running on the Comp Kart chassis. He's got to get down to about 2.95 seconds as we head into the final couple of minutes before the lunch break. So Schollenberger again, pretty consistent there, 45.317. Becker's done a 45.291 second lap time. And at the moment, I would probably say that we've maybe got another 3 to 4 laps still to come, so we'll probably hit 20 laps of racing. That'll be just a shade over 22.1 kilometres of racing covered by every single driver that makes the full race distance. So we're on lap number 17, which is about to be completed as Daniel Schallenberger crosses the stripe, as does Michael Becker. Thomas Piet now up into P3 past Tommy Helfinger. So I thought that might be the case, that Piet would have eventually got up into P3. Has not got time on his side to close in on Michael Becker. That's a hell of a gap to try and close in on. 3.248 seconds within the next 36 seconds plus an additional lap. That's never going to help. That's never going to happen, no matter how hard you try. You can keep on pushing, keep on trucking, so to speak. Thomas Piet running in the 45.4s as Daniel Schallenberger. That's an epic lap that he's just set, a 45.116 second lap time on the 18th lap out of 20. The time is about to hit 0 very shortly. It does right now. So this plus an additional lap still to go. Lap 19 out of 20. And Schallenberger is very much keeping himself to himself, keeping out of trouble, keeping out of harm's way, and keeping his championship hopes alive quite fastidiously here in Kerpen, as we'll head to Wickenborn around 6 weeks' time for the season finale here in 2021. So final lap board is out for the morning's action. Schallenberger through the left-hander at turn 3 for the final time, the 20th and final time, not including the two, the sighting and the formation lap, before things got going a bit earlier on. Still, with metronomic precision, Schallenberger makes his way through the S's. And just the left-hand kink here, the chicane, and the left-hand hairpin to circumnavigate, and the win will be his. So Schallenberger, relatively untouchable, relatively unchallenged, and takes the victory ahead of Michael Becker, who crosses the line 3.23 seconds adrift. Thomas Piet, after that roller coaster bumpy ride that he had going through turn 2 for the first time vasking around about 15 minutes ago, ends up P3. Tommy Helfinger 4th ahead of Klaus Barnett, who completes the top 5. Andreas Frenzel in 6th ahead of Stefan Grabau. Patrick Weinstock rounds out the top 8 ahead of the 524 of Leonard Schreiber. Tanja Yildiz in the 570 makes it into the top 10 ahead of Stefan Epp and Konrad Bayer, with Bayer being the last of the 12 classified finishers, having completed the full 22.14 kilometres. That's 20 laps of this 1.107 kilometre circuit, with Falco Birkholz retiring on lap 12 and Marco Winkler at the halfway point in the race.